the Nintendo 3DS. One of mine and a lot of others' favorite systems of all time. I mean, what was there not to love about it? It was backwards compatible with the DS, it had an incredible roster of its own games, it was 3D, kinda, you just gotta look at it at the right angle. This little thing had so many quality games available on it. I mean, we had new Zelda games, remakes of Zelda games, Monster Hunter games, Fire Emblem games, which by the way, that series would have died without the 3DS, Animal Crossing, Kid Icarus, I love Kid Icarus. What do y'all know about Picross 3D? And the best thing about it, at least to me, was that it was all portable. That's right, you could play Ocarina of Time anywhere you wanted. And that portability came with one of the best features that Nintendo has ever made, which has yet to be topped in my mind. StreetPass. StreetPass was basically one of the smallest little gimmicks Nintendo had, where if you and somebody else had walked past each other, or hell, drove past each other, and you both had a 3DS on you, you would get this fun little green light at the edge of your 3DS. That light would signify that you had just passed someone else who also had a 3DS on them. It's like what I just said. The other thing that light means, though, is that you will receive certain info about that person you passed, and they will get the same info about you. This info can range from a variety of things like your home in Animal Crossing, setting an army in Fire Emblem for others to challenge, or you can show them your dog, or cat. It's called Nintendogs plus cats, so I don't know, I never really played. But what I was always the most interested in was getting people's Miis and filling up my StreetPass Mii Plaza. Every time you open this built-in app after receiving a StreetPass, you would be greeted by the people you passed since you last opened it. It was always really cool seeing who you passed, what they were wearing, what was the last game they were playing, and where they were from. After greeting them from the gate, you would have them enter your Mii Plaza, and here you can have the Miis help you play certain games. There was this puzzle game where the Mii would give you a certain random puzzle piece that you don't have, which upon completing the puzzle, you'll get a neat little 3D picture that you can just kind of look at. I mean, yeah, they look cool. Samus looks pretty cool here. But yeah, that's kind of it. And you can also have the Miis help you play Find Me, a game where your Mii has been imprisoned and needs the help of other Miis to get them out. Thankfully, everybody sucks and can only hit like 3 times, doing 1 damage each to every enemy, causing you to never beat it. It's been 15 years! These were fun little games that you can just kind of play every once in a while when you open your 3DS. As a kid, it was cool. It was never the main thing I did, but it was fun. It was fine. They did eventually add more games years later to the StreetPass, but by that time, I was already kind of over it. I just liked getting StreetPasses. So, yeah. Now, if you were 12 in 2012 with no friends who had a 3DS because it was stupid and lame and Nintendo games are for babies, it was pretty cool to see that green light come up. I was always really embarrassed that I liked Nintendo as a kid, and I would hide my 3DS from friends in school or in the neighborhood since they were playing Call of Duty and stuff like that. I obviously played those games as well, but not nearly as much as the other kids did. And since I didn't really have a lot of friends who played on the 3DS or even liked Nintendo as much as I did, seeing that little green light show up every once in a while really made me feel like I was part of a community. I never really got too many StreetPasses in the grand scheme of things. Not a lot of kids or people that I grew up with cared about Nintendo like I did, other than a small few. And now, as a 25-year-old jaded adult, I really don't care who sees me playing on my 3DS while at the coffee shop, on the plane, or in the car while I'm driving. Which sucks because, as you may have guessed, no one really uses their 3DS anymore. I mean, why would anyone actually be playing on this thing? It's an old system with no new games coming out on it. It's retired. There's nothing left for it. But then I realized something. I'm going on a trip to Japan soon, which is a country that values portable gaming a lot more than America does. So it got me thinking, I wonder how many people like StreetPass in 2025. So I wish I could make this sound cooler than it is, but really I just walked around a lot with my 3DS on me at all times. I made sure that whenever I left the house, I had it fully charged and ready to come with me. And I mean, I took it everywhere. I went to restaurants with it on me, I walked my dog with it on me, I went shopping with it on me. Basically, I took it everywhere I could. I live in Orlando, Florida, so we get a lot of tourists from around the world going to Disney and the Universal parks. Thankfully, for this experiment, both places are close by to me. So I made sure to drive by both of them when I could while lugging my 3DS along with me. And I've got to say, doing this was pretty fun. It was nostalgic to have my DS in my pocket at all times, just like how I did as a kid. Hey, just want to stop the video real quick and bring your attention to the fact that we are almost at 1,000 subscribers. That is crazy. I appreciate everybody that has subscribed so far, and I would really appreciate it if you subscribed if you're not subscribed right now. That'd be awesome. Like the video if you're enjoying the video right now. I don't know what else to say. Goodbye. Back to the video. But yeah, just knowing that I had a little device with loads of games on it was almost comforting. Like, I didn't have to go on my phone every time I got even a little bit bored. You know, as much as I love the Switch, it's not as portable as I would like it to be in a way. It doesn't fit in a pocket, it's really noticeable when you take it out, and I have to carry it in like a bag or in my carrying case, not because it doesn't fit in my pocket per se, but because it has a screen that's so big that I don't want to scratch. Whereas the 3DS is just a lot more compact and, you know, more portable. But for some reason, I never did use it when I was out and about. A part of it was because I stupidly thought it would be fun to wait until the end of the day to check how many StreetPasses I got, as if it was going to really do something for the video. The other part of it was because I think I just got nervous. I don't like filming myself playing on the 3DS, it was weird. But after 2 straight weeks of driving and walking as much as I could, counting every StreetPass I got, I ended up with 0 StreetPasses. What? No. Okay, hold on. There has to be someone out there, right? I mean, this is Orlando, Florida. So many people come here. At least one person has to have a 3DS on them, right? Well, I guess there's only one thing left to do. I have to go to Disney Springs. Yeah, I didn't get a ticket to go to Disney World, but I did go to Disney Springs for this video. Also, I don't know who would bring their DS to a theme park where you're mostly walking around and going on rides. I guess you can play on a DS in the lines, but who do you think is realistically doing that in 2025? If you don't know what Disney Springs is, it's kind of like a downtown Disney, because that's what it used to be called. It's basically just a really big outlet mall with bowling, food, movies, and an M&M shop for some reason. Side note, there's also this place in Disney Springs called Disney Quest, which had these really cool indoor attractions where you can ride the rug from Aladdin in VR, produce songs with Radio Disney that you can actually buy a CD for afterwards if you wanted, and my favorite, the Pirates of the Caribbean ride. Here you got to manage and sail a ship, fight sea monsters, attack other nearby ships, and even pillage villages and take their resources. Okay, maybe not the last one, but the other stuff you could do. It was so cool. You actually had a ship that you could walk around with and a wheel that you would turn in order to move said ship. The walls were the screens and there were cannons that you would actually have to aim and shoot with. To this day, that is the most fun pirate game I have ever played. Sea of Thieves was kinda close, I guess, but it has nothing on the Disney Quest Pirates of the Caribbean ride. Now, you may have noticed I was talking in the past tense because they took Disney Quest away from us in 2017! You bastards! Just give it back! Anyway, I walked around Disney Springs for quite a while actually, and ended up doing some shopping for my upcoming Japan trip. I also saw a pretty big group of people playing Pokemon Go while I was leaving at one point. I didn't get any footage of that because I'm not a creep, but it was cool to see people still playing that game and enjoying themselves. And after all that walking and shopping, I got back into the car and finally checked up on my 3DS. And lo and behold, I got one, baby! Let's go! Admittedly, the surprise was kind of ruined because I took out the DS a little bit too quickly and forgot to record my initial reaction. So here's an accurate representation of how I sounded when I saw the little green light show up. It was an amazing sight and it filled me up with so much joy. Call me crazy, but if I had to guess who it was, I would assume it was someone in the Pokemon Go group. So thank you, random stranger. Well, folks, with those 2 weeks being done, I think it's time we pack our bags. We got somewhere big to go. I'm not gonna move because I'm recording this after coming back from Japan. So I know what you're probably thinking. YouTuber Nikki Nobiki Isn't this an unfair test to StreetPass since when you tested it in America, you only went to areas near you and one very public area, and while in Japan you're going to be in very touristy locations surrounded by people from all over the world in a country where portable gaming is at its highest? I spent 2 weeks in Japan, and just like the last 2 weeks in America, I took my 3DS everywhere I went. I took it to Akihabara, where I did a lot of shopping and played some arcade games I wasn't allowed to record. I took it to the Nintendo store in Shibuya and in Kyoto, which was awesome. Short King. Short King, you see this? And even ended up getting myself some merch and some Metroid amiibos. Kyoto is such a beautiful traditional area with a lot of greenery and history. I even had the chance to walk around in the Imperial Garden. Would you believe me if I said there were no StreetPasses there? I even took it to the tallest building in Tokyo, the Tokyo Sky Tree, which lives up to its name. At like one of the top stories, they have this glass floor that you can look through and just see the ground. And I really did think I was going to cover it up with my vomit. I had a ton of great food and I did a lot of sightseeing and shopping, of course. It was such a good time and I can't wait to go back one day. Did this video kind of turn into a trip vlog? Yeah. But it was my trip, and I wanted to talk to you about it for a second and have a moment of bonding. Is that so bad? So, like I said, I took my 3DS with me everywhere I went. It was always in my bag, and at the end of every day, I would take it out and check to see if I got any StreetPasses whatsoever. And would you believe me if I told you that almost every day I got at least one StreetPass? By the end of the trip, I think I got around 20 or so. Hell yeah, this is awesome! So now what? What, do I end the video? I kind of just achieved my goal here, so I guess? Why do I feel so much more empty than I thought I would? You know, almost every day on this trip, I would go back to my Airbnb and take out the DS to be greeted with a little green light more often than I ever thought I would. For some reason, it really brought me a lot of joy. It wasn't just an exciting part of the day, but it was an exciting thing to see. To know that someone out there also likes the 3DS just as much as I do. To know that someone has one on them even now is a really cool feeling. I get to see their little me's and see what they were last playing and know if they like cats or dogs more. For a little bit, it felt like the 3DS had a community and I was part of it again. And that was special to me. Granted, I was in Tokyo for most of my trip, which is one of the most populated cities in the world, while also being a country that values portable gaming way more than others. I mean, in almost every train I got on, I saw people playing mobile games on their phones, and I saw so many mobile game ads, it seemed to be way more normal over there. It got me wondering how it must have looked back in the day when the 3DS was still so popular and phones weren't able to run the games that we have now. Of course, it would be pretty similar to how it was back in America, where almost every kid had a DS of some kind and would take it out whenever they got bored instead of their phones. It was a different time. A time that I miss. And that got me thinking some more. Why did I do this? Why did I try this challenge? Yeah, I thought it would make for a fun video to see if StreetPass and, in turn, the 3DS was really dead. But why do I care? I do love the system to bits, but would the death of this system really be that upsetting to me? And the answer to that is yeah, it would. I'm no stranger, as I'm sure you watching are not either, to watching consoles be left behind for the next new thing. It happens to every system. And yeah, it makes me a little upset to see the 3DS go the way of the dodo. I know that's not completely true. I felt like for a long time there was no community for the system, since for most of my time with it, I never met anyone who cared about it as much as I did, other than a few acquaintances and friends at school. I kept telling myself that I wanted to go out and find a community, but little did I know, I already did. Having this channel and making videos has really opened my eyes and has given me the courage to talk to more people and find more communities. I've seen the 3DS community online, and it's alive and active with collectors of the consoles or the games and players reminiscing on old games they played while finding new ones that they never knew about. So, in a way, I've been part of the community for a while now, and I just didn't notice until I went to frickin' Japan. I think what I was looking for deep down was validation that I'm not alone. And after getting that validation, I realized I simply just missed being a kid again. playing Kingdom Hearts 3D for the 33rd time on my 3DS in the back of my parents' car with the 3D turned all the way up, because I'll be damned if I don't use the selling point of this thing. I bought this before the price drop. I'm making it worthwhile. Life was simple back then, and now life is simply not simple. Yeah, I don't know. I was yearning for my childhood, and so I started actually playing on the 3DS again. You know, for this whole trip, I was treating this challenge like a job and never thought of actually using the 3DS on the whole trip other than like on the plane to Japan. And guess what? When I actually started playing on the 3DS, I was having a great time. I played some old favorites of mine like Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, Kid Icarus, Nintendo Please Make a New One or something. I even started playing games I've never played before like Metroid Samus Returns, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. Is it perfect? No. But I like it. Here's a quick little Bicky take on Samus Returns. So I guess the point of this video is not what I thought it would be at all. Yeah, I thought it would be fun to go to Japan and bring my 3DS with me and see if the StreetPass is really dead. But in the end, I realized that all of this simply stemmed from the fact that I really do love my 3DS and this simple little gimmick. I'm glad I got the StreetPass people from across the world, and maybe they got just as excited as I did to see their DS light up. At least, I hope that's the case. And a message to anyone watching this. If you love a hobby, any hobby, look around a bit and don't give up. I promise you, you'll find someone who likes whatever you like just as much as you do. Hell, maybe they like it even more. Step out of your comfort zone and look for others. It may be uncomfortable for a while, but I promise it's worth being uncomfortable for a little bit in the search of being happy. And to Nintendo, I think some form of StreetPass would be cool to have again. I don't know if you'll ever do that, but hey, a man can dream. Like and subscribe if you liked the video. It helps a lot. I'll see you next time.
And bring back Kid Icarus, please! I beg you! I'll buy like 100 copies of it, I promise!
Hey, what's up? It's Nicky No Bicky, the guy who made the video you just watched. I just wanted to say thank you for watching the video. If you're still here, thank you again. If you liked the video, leave a like. If you didn't like it, leave a dislike. That's fine. If you really liked it, you can subscribe. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers, which is crazy. Oh my god! I cannot believe it. I can't believe that I'm even at 900 subscribers. That truly means the world to me. Thank you to everybody watching the videos. I really do appreciate it. I have a lot of fun making these, and I want to keep doing that. And if you would like to support me, a like helps, subscribing helps. If you want to support me even more, I have a Patreon that you can subscribe to. I'll link it down below. And yeah, I think that's basically it. I'm recording this after editing everything, so I'm sorry for sounding really tired and not energetic right now. But this has been like 3 weeks after losing footage and having to re-edit and rewrite, and yeah. I appreciate you watching. Take care of yourself. Bye-bye.